My recommendation is that we first start off by firing both employees that were involved. This way, we really reassure consumers that we have zero tolerance for this behavior and that, it's not acceptable. Also, I believe that we should then post a video to social media, all social media outlets, um, apologizing to consumers and our stakeholders for the behavior of these employees and making sure that they understand that we're taking all steps possible in order to make sure that they are eating clean food that has not been contaminated in any way. And I think we should really do this as soon as possible so that they know that we understand the seriousness of this situation. We have zero tolerance for it, and that we are reacting and taking it, very seriously to react quickly. Then I also think that we should reassure consumers by implementing stricter food hygiene processes and policies. And with that, making sure requiring each U.S. location for Kentucky Fried Chicken to go through a food hygiene training with hazard analysis critical points consultants. This way they can learn again, go through the basic processes of washing your hands before, messing with the food or cleaning surfaces before and after exposing them to food, as well as making sure that your coworkers are following these processes, making sure that, we are doing everything that we can to give our customers the best food that they can have. Also, I believe that we should remove all possibly contaminated food from that location. This way we're removing the risk of any of our customers having food that was messed with in the video. That way it alleviates some of that fear that whenever they come into that restaurant, am I eating the mashed potatoes that this guy was in this video, and saying, it's being removed. If it had any possibility of being contaminated, it has been removed from the location and consumers have not eaten out of that. Obviously, some of the benefits with this is that it shows our consumers that we are taking the issue very, very seriously. We are reacting quickly and taking measures to prevent it from happening in the future and to make sure that we have better processes to hold our employees and that our employees will hold their coworkers more responsible as well. Obviously, too, there's some costs with this, as there are with every situation in business. So some of the costs could be that it could cost millions of dollars for us to have each location go through a intensive food hygiene process training, just because it would cost money to get the consultants there, and as well as the if any equipment is needed, and the time and the labor as well. Also, removing all possible contaminated food from the Florence, Kentucky location could cost hundreds of dollars in lost product. So that would be my recommendation. Thank you.
Hello, I am Tristan Hunt, and I'm a part of the crisis management team for Yum Brands Incorporated, and I'm here to discuss with you the second recommendation for the scenario that has happened to our KFC location located in Florence, Kentucky. So, to start things off, I think that it'd be most beneficial to clean the entire area and have a health inspection agency come to the location affected to evaluate the employees and the location overall, and provide that location with the standard health agency sheet that details all of the things that the restaurant location excels at, or some of the things that they may need to work on for when it's time to have the agency come back out and give us another evaluation. Once the evaluation is over with, this is standard for all restaurants all throughout the U.S. Once the inspection is over, they give you a sheet of paper that scores the restaurant from 1 to 100, and this sheet of paper tells what things the restaurant can work on, or maybe what things the restaurant excels at. And then this sheet of paper is placed near the front entrance, so that way customers coming in can see what this restaurant scored out of 100, 100 being the best. And I think it really would help bring back the trust to our customers and let them know that, hey, we are trying to fix our mistake. Um, so another recommendation would be or with that recommendation, I think that all restaurants should implement easy access sinks because research shows that the thing that is most complained about to employees is that the sinks aren't very easily accessible, or there's not enough soap at each location. So I think it would be very beneficial for us to implement easy access sinks and enough soap for the employees to use, when they're coming back from their breaks, or just when they are touching different types of meats, or maybe carrying products. Uh, I think it would also be beneficial for us to implement new training techniques to all of our employees to help them understand that they aren't just representing themselves professionally, they're also representing the Yum Brands Incorporated company name. And that even though a customer may not be around, it is still very important for the employee to know that they need to be very professional. So we will also release a press release to let the media and public know that we are trying very hard to correct this situation and gain their trust back, uh, specifically for this location and all other locations. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good day.
Hello, so today I'm going to be talking about the third recommendation and the email portion of the project. And since I was in charge of the third recommendation, I chose to talk about a different approach to the first two. My approach was more just review what we already have in place. That way, it's not too much cost to the company, and just pretty much what my third recommendation was to own up to the mistake that we made. Even though there was a mistake from two employees, that doesn't represent the rest of the company's like morals and all that, and we do not tolerate it like in the other two. But like we're gonna go over choosing whether or not to fire them, but essentially we're gonna own up to it and make a like go out to the like to the news and everything and own up to it and just assure our customers that that's not what we stand for, and that we're going to change everything. We're going to review all our policies on sanitation and make sure all our employees are retrained in the sanitation policies that we already have in place to make sure this doesn't occur, because with that, and then if it does, that there will be repercussions and they will most likely be terminated. And essentially this won't cost us any money because it's already something we have in place, and we just need our employees to review it and let them know that this is not going to be tolerated, and tell them that these two employees who caused the incident will not be that anything like that will not be tolerated anymore. And essentially we're going to go into how just reviewing that, and it'll be cost effective, make sure all our employees are marked down as reviewed, and go over the sanitation policies all over again. Even though if they did anything, we want them to be reminded that this is something very important to not just us, but how people view us, because people don't want to go to a place that is dirty. We want to keep a good view of our sanitation policies. And according to the Lexington Herald Leader, a recent like sanitation issue that happened was in the Lexington Fayette Mall. Apparently, like employees weren't washing their hands or something, and it caused over 350 people to be sick with the norovirus. And essentially, the food court had to be shut down for a day. That way, they could clean everything and sanitize it, and then have the health department come in to make sure everything was okay. And this is something that kind of relates to our issue because it's a sanitation related issue, and we don't want any issues like this that where we have to close. And essentially, this is something to take note of because we want to make sure everybody's following sanitation policies to make sure everything is okay, and to take charge. Just like according to the insurancejournal.com, Chick-fil-A actually is in the food court, and they closed Friday, July 20th instead of July 23rd when all the rest of the food court was closed because they had multiple employees calling sick, and they took initiative to close their own store down on their store in the food court down so they could save some to clean everything up because they knew something was wrong. But the thing is, I'm pretty sure they didn't own up to being the main cause of the norovirus, but we actually don't know where it came from. But the one thing they could have done differently is just like instead of just cleaning up, like assure people that it won't happen again in a different way. But with my third policy as well, I want to include that with the third recommendation will include that we give them like a free side or a drink, like if they were a customer at that location in Florence that had the incident happen, and during that time span, like give it a week, just let them have their receipt, and this will most likely assure customers or encourage customers to come back in, and, even though that we just assured that like we clean everything, make sure everything was taken care of. This will most likely motivate customers to return, and it might cost the company some money, but overall it'd be gaining the company money because we'll be keeping customers and gaining more customers as we go. And essentially, I'm going to be sending out an email that to our supervisors and make sure that just recapping, telling you all a little bit of all three recommendations, and to assure you that everything is being handled. And that is everything I have for you today.
By going over some research that we've done, there's been a few cases where restaurants have had similar food hygiene crises. In 2009, Domino's had two employees that posted a video online of them mishandling food. The video reached millions of views within just a few days, according to AaronAllen.com. It's cost Domino's hundreds of dollars to discard the food in that location. Their sales for that entire year have dropped because of the reputation they got from the video. It also states the store had to close because of the incident not too long after the event happened. It took Domino's several years to financially recover from the event. But like I said, it eventually closed due to bad business, so it had a very large impact on the overall business. Another example happened just this spring here in Lexington at a popular Chinese restaurant, Panda Cuisine. They've been known for maintaining 100% scores on their food sanitation ratings, but back in the fall it started to dip down. They went down to 85%. Another reading, it went up to 88%. But an event this spring actually damaged the restaurant's reputation severely when a passerby out back discovered dead ducks hanging outside. The photo was quickly spread around the internet, and the health department was notified. The health department came in and made the restaurant discard of the fowl and gave them a 5-day window to review safe handling practices or close down the restaurant. The owner claimed it was a one-time incident and was unsure why the employees left the fowl hanging outside, but it still dramatically impacted the number of customers visiting the location and the restaurant's reputation. The restaurant still remains open today, but is still recovering from the event. Now, in the case of our situation at KFC, we have sent out a memo, and I would just like to go over that memo very quick with you. Here at KFC, we pride ourselves in the cleanliness and professionalism of our restaurants. It is with great sadness that we have to deal with this current situation of the two employees engaging in unacceptable behavior and posting videos while working at this location. The two employees will be reprimanded for their actions and will be held accountable. This kind of behavior will not be tolerated and will not be accepted. After careful review of the situation, the crisis team is focused on getting the restaurant back on its feet, and overall cleaning and sanitation of the restaurant will be performed. We will discard all food and replace it. Then the local health department will be in to inspect the location before we reopen. We will be striving for 100% grade on our safety and sanitary evaluation. We want to be able for all employees to continue to have a place of employment in a safe, clean environment. From this day forward, though, we will have to enforce strict policies and practices. Everyone will be required to participate in hygiene training and any other training that KFC now deems necessary. Our main goal is to overcome this bad situation and focus on getting the Florence, Kentucky fried chicken back in good standing and let the community know that we have taken care of the matter and that we were better aware of it, and something of this nature will never happen again. We'll be speaking with the media so the public will know that this is under control and the location is upstanding, clean, respectable restaurant from this day forward.